I go outside, despite the weather. I walk along the perimeter until I can feel and remember. I am what I am. I need to feel and remember. I spend my afternoons with Porterhouse. His real name is Antoine, but he calls himself Porterhouse because he says he's big and juicy like a fine-ass steak. Porterhouse threw his wife out of the window of their 7th-floor apartment when he found her in bed with another man. He took the man into a field and shot him 5 times. The first 4 shots went into the man's arms and legs. He waited 30 minutes to let the man feel the pain of the shots. Pain, he said, was the equivalent to the pain he felt when he saw the man fucking his wife. Shot number 5 went into the man's heart. From 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, I read to Porterhouse. I sit on my bed and he sits on the floor. He leans against the wall and he closes his eyes so he can, as he says, do some imagining. I read slowly and clearly, taking an occasional break to drink a glass of water or smoke a cigarette. In the past 12 weeks, we have worked our way through Don Quixote, Leaves of Grass, and East of Eden. We are currently reading War and Peace, which is Porterhouse's favorite. He smiled at the engagement of Andrei and Natasha. He cried when Anatoly betrayed her. He cheered at the Battle of Borodino, and though he admired the Russian tactics, he cursed while Moscow burned. When we're not reading, he carries War and Peace around with him. He sleeps with it at night, cradles it as if it were his child. He says that if he could, he would read it again and again. I started reading to Porterhouse the day after he hit me with the tray, my 2nd day here. I was walking to my cell and I had a copy of Don Quixote in my hand. As I passed his cell, Porterhouse said, "Come here, I want to talk to you." I stopped and asked what he wanted. He said he wanted to know why I was here and why a county sheriff would give him 3 cartons of cigarettes to beat my ass. I told him that I had hit a county sheriff with a car, going 5 miles an hour when I was drunk and high on crack, and I had fought several others when they tried to arrest me. He asked if I'd hit the man on purpose. I told him I didn't remember doing it. He laughed. I asked him why he was here, and he told me. I did not offer further comment. He asked what the book was, and I told him, and he asked why I had it, and I told him that I liked books. I offered to let him have it when I was done with it, and he laughed and said, "I can't read, motherfucker. Fucking book ain't gonna do me no good." I offered to read to him. He said he'd think about it. A couple of hours later, he showed up and sat on my floor. I started reading. He has been here every day since. At 6 o'clock, I walk with Porterhouse to dinner, the only meal of the day that I eat. It is usually foul, disgusting, almost inedible. The meat is mush, the bread stale, potatoes like water, vegetables hard as rock. I eat it anyway. Porterhouse eats seconds and thirds and fourths, which, by long-standing arrangements, he takes from the trays of other prisoners. He offers to get food for me, but I decline. When I'm finished eating, I sit and I listen to Porterhouse talk about his upcoming trial. Like every other man in here, regardless of what they might say, Porterhouse is guilty of the crimes that he has been accused of committing. He wants to go to trial because, until he is convicted, he will stay here, at county jail, instead of doing his time in state prison. Jail is a much easier place to live than prison. There is less violence. There are more privileges. Most of the prisoners know they're getting out within the next year, and most sooner than that. And they want to be left alone. Once they're gone, they don't want to come back. In prison, there are gangs, rapes, drugs, murder. Most of the prisoners are in for long stretches and will most likely never be free. If they are ever free, they'll be more dangerous than they were before they were imprisoned. They could give 2 fucks about rehabilitation. They need to survive. To survive, they need to replace their humanity with savagery. Porterhouse knows this, but wants to remain human for as long as he can. A guilty verdict is coming his way, but until it does, he'll stay here, and he will remain a human being. After dinner, I go to the payphone. I dial a number that was given to me by my friend Leonard. The number allows me to make free long-distance phone calls. I do not know where Leonard got the number, and I have never asked him. That has always been my policy with Leonard. Take what he offers, thank him for it, do not ask questions. Leonard is what I am, an alcoholic and a drug addict and a criminal, though he is not currently incarcerated. He is 52 years old, and he lives in Las Vegas, where he oversees an unnamed organization's interests in a number of finance, entertainment, and security companies. When we talk, we do not discuss his business. I always call Lily first. Lily with long black hair and pale skin and blue eyes like deep, clean water. Lily whose father deserted her and whose mother sold Lily's body for drugs when she was 13. Lily who became a crackhead and a pill popper and hitchhiked across the country on her back so that she could escape her mother. Lily who has been raped and beaten and used and discarded. Lily who is alone in the world except for me and a grandmother who has terminal cancer. Lily who is living in a halfway house in Chicago while she tries to stay clean and waits for me to be released from this place. Lily who loves me. Lily who loves me. I dial the number. I know she's sitting in a phone booth in the halfway house waiting for my call. My heart starts beating faster as it does whenever I see her or speak to her. She picks up on the third ring. She says, "Hello, sweet boy." I say, "Hello, sweet girl." She says, "I miss you," and I say, "We'll see each other soon." She asks me how I am, and I tell her that I'm good. She's upset that I'm here, and I don't want her to worry. I always tell her things are good. I ask her how she is, and her answers vary from day to day, hour to hour, minute to minute. Sometimes she says she feels free, which is a feeling she has rarely felt but has always sought. She says she feels like she's getting better and healthier and can put her past behind her. Sometimes she says she feels fine, that she's getting by and that is enough, that she's off drugs and has a roof over her head. She says she's fine. Sometimes she's depressed. She feels like her grandmother is going to die and I'm going to leave her. She's going to be alone in the world, which is something she says she cannot handle. She says there are always options. She'll weigh them when the time comes to weigh them. Sometimes she feels nothing. Absolutely nothing. She doesn't talk. She just breathes into the phone. I tell her to hold on, that she'll feel again. Feel better again. Feel free again. I tell her to hold on, sweet girl. Please hold on. She doesn't talk. She just breathes into the phone. I met Lily and Leonard 5 months ago. I was a patient at a drug and alcohol treatment center. I checked in after a 10-year bout with alcoholism and a 3-year bout with crack addiction, which ended when I woke up on a plane after 2 weeks of blackness and discovered that I had knocked out my front 4 teeth, broken my nose and my eye socket, and torn a hole in my cheek that took 40 stitches to close. At the time, I was wanted in 3 states on drug, drunk driving, and assault charges. I didn't have a job or any money, and I was nearly dead. I didn't want to go to the treatment center, but I didn't have any other options. At least not options I was ready to accept. I met Lily on my 2nd day. I was standing in line waiting for detoxification drugs, and she was standing in front of me. She turned around and she said hello to me, and I said hello to her, and she asked what happened to my face, and I shrugged and told her I didn't know, and she laughed. I saw her and spoke to her later that day and the next and the next and the next. The treatment center had a policy against male-female relationships. We ignored the policy. We talked to each other, slipped each other notes, met each other in the woods that were part of the center's grounds. We helped each other and understood each other. We fell in love with each other. We were young. She's 24 and I'm 23, and we fell in love. Neither of us had felt anything like what we felt for one another, and we agreed that we would stay together and live together when we left the treatment center. We got caught with each other, and we paid for the violation of the center's rules. Lily left the center, and I went after her. I found her selling her body for crack, and I brought her back. I left a week later and came here. Lily stayed for 9 more weeks and has been at the halfway house in Chicago.